A few months ago, I picked up the Shovel Knight treasure trove, as I always wanted to play Shovel Knight, but it ended up going under my radar with so many games coming out. But after finally playing the game, I ended up loving it, and I had a blast playing it alone and with friends. However, while I did enjoy Shovel of Hope, I ended up loving Specter of Torment. Without a doubt, it's my favorite game within the treasure trove. This campaign acts as a prequel to Shovel of Hope, so there will be spoilers for both Shovel of Hope and Specter of Torment in this video. With that warning out of the way, let's get started. Specter of Torment follows the titular Spectre, who was once known as Donovan? Who was once known as Donovan. While alive, he was a cunning and skillful thief, and with his best friend and partner in crime, Luan, he climbed the Tower of Faith, their eyes set on the amulet sitting atop. As they almost claim their prize, however, Shield Knight confronts the two, warning them of the dark power held inside. Donovan's greed gets the better of him, and he begins lashing out at Shield Knight and eventually Luan. This outburst causes the floor to collapse, not only killing Luan, but gravely injuring the thief. On his deathbed, the Enchantress appears and gives him a chance to obtain new life. He is bound to the task of gathering 8 knights for her, as when they kneel before her, his life will be restored. Compared to Shovel of Hope, Specter of Torment has a larger focus on fast-paced platforming, thanks to Spectre Knight's skills. He has 2 traits that sets him apart from Shovel Knight. First, his ability to scale most walls for a short amount of time and jump off of said wall, and secondly, the dash slash, Spectre Knight's stand-in for the shovel drop. While airborne, you'll see this red streak on most enemies and objects, which not only indicates that you're in range to use the dash slash, but where you'll end up afterwards. If it doesn't kill an enemy, Spectre Knight will end up bouncing back, giving you the opportunity to use the move again. The dash slash not only doubles as an amazing offensive tool, but movement ability within the stages. Speaking of movement abilities, there's also a third honorary ability I'd like to mention. Just like Shovel Knight, Spectre Knight can buy different armors from a colony of creatures named Manny. Since I only use the rail mail, I'ma just focus on that one. When holding down while falling, the rail mail allows the apparition to skate on his scythe, and while it's already quicker than his normal pace, holding forward makes him go even faster. Grinding not only gives your jumps a lot more momentum, but Spectre Knight is even able to grind on spikes. The ability to grind on any surface is an amazing movement ability, as it can not only make collecting upgrades and collectibles easier, but help you progress through the stages at a much quicker pace. You can also hold back to stop Spectre Knight, but it's kinda useless seeing as you can just jump for a more smooth landing. Ignore that last sentence. Those aforementioned upgrades are for Spectre Knight's will, his health, and his darkness, basically his special weapon meter. If you end up missing any within the stages, you can talk to this girl named Missy in the hub, and for a price, she'll give you any will or darkness wisps you missed. Also scattered within the stages are red skulls. These skulls can be given to a skeleton named Red, and in exchange, he'll give you curios, abilities that take your darkness to activate, and eventually, you can upgrade these abilities by talking to Legion. Almost every single curio is useful, with some of my favorites being the Dread Talon, a really strong melee attack that after being upgraded has some pretty good range, and the Hover Plum, which after being upgraded not only allows Spectre Knight to hover for a while, but also makes him fully invincible, which is great for a save. However, the best curio without a doubt is Judgment Rush. When activated, Judgment Rush causes Spectre Knight to dash towards the closest enemy. This simple ability, when used properly, can effectively bypass whole sections and rooms. And since the game has a Mega Man-like structure, if there's a specific curio you like, there's nothing stopping you from heading to the stage and taking out that boss first, which is why I always start with Propeller Knight. And rushing through the stages with all these abilities feels amazing. All of the levels sport new level design, with some traces of their original layouts here and there. The stages aren't afraid of making you cross bottomless pits with the dash slash, or requiring you to use Spectre Knight's wall jumps to reach a higher platform. The 2 wisps and red skulls also serve as incentive to explore these stages. The music is also pretty high energy and fast paced compared to the Shovel of Hope soundtrack. When it comes to the boss fights, while Spectre Knight is already well off with the scythe and the dash slash, once you factor in the curios, it just becomes overkill. Spectre Knight absolutely shreds bosses. All the bosses have new attacks, and there's some encounters that are even unique to this campaign, but that does not help that he does not struggle with these guys at all, especially if you don't care about getting hit. By now, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you'll probably have a good idea of what my favorite types of games are. Fast-paced platformers with a pretty high skill ceiling, and Specter of Torment fits right into that trend. In the short amount of time I've owned the treasure trove, I have replayed this campaign so many times. I even bought it on Switch separately because I enjoy it that much. It was only $9.99, so don't judge me. Well, with that being said, that's all I really have to say about the campaign. If you're a fan of fast-paced platformers and you haven't played it yet, give it a chance. You'll enjoy it a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching this long. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.